Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the worst show ever. My name is Walter Bucky. With me, I have the lovely Sean Baker. And Sean, we have a very special guest today, the very wonderful and talented Tommy Lucero, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I love both you guys, so it's great to be able to
talk too. Thank you for joining us tonight. From where are you? Somewhere in interstellar space?
Sure.
Oh, I was trying to make that more dramatic.
Somewhere on chat roulette by the background.
It sounded like Sean was going to give a roast, and then it just went into dog shit.
No.
Where are you, in fucking interstellar space, you idiot?
No, I like this background there, man. It was it's dope. I'm a space guy, man. I like that shit.
Yeah, I smoke a lot of weed, bro.
Me too, bro.
Yeah,
Colton doesn't.
I like to think it's a preemptive medicine, you know?
Oh, for sure it is.
So I don't get glaucoma.
Colton needs it. And but when he has it, he well, what happens when you have it, Colton?
I turn into the least fun person you want to be around. I have a full-on panic attack.
Yeah,
you need to switch strains, man. That's what it is.
That's what
people have been telling me this since I was 14 years old. I don't think it's gonna change.
Let's try again.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, dude, you're doing too much. You got to do this, and then it's like you got to do this kind. You got to do that, and it's just like, I'm good.
Come on over. We'll fucking run through a cycle. We'll see what hits you the right way. Until then, it'll be, trial and error. If we need to, we'll throw you in the bathtub full of ice, and then we'll just keep it going. Keep it moving along.
Let's put it this way: I'd rather blow an 8-ball of coke than smoke 2 puffs of a joint.
Well, I know people, so I mean, it just depends on where you want the weekend to be.
Dude, my wife doesn't smoke. She likes to drink, she'll drink some wine with dinner and shit every night. But I'm like, yo, you gotta try, you gotta try this shit. So one day I got her to try, but for some reason I'm thinking that like I wasn't thinking that her tolerance is like nothing because she's never smoked, you know what I mean? Or only smoked like a couple of times ever in her entire life. So I'm like, no, a couple more. And I get like the really good high quality shit. So she's, dude, honestly, within like a few minutes, she's like looking at me and she's like, I need you to take me to Scripps Medical. And now she's like, come on, let's go to Scripps Medical. I'm like, bro, what are you fucking talking about? She's like, she thought she needed to go to the emergency room. It was the complete opposite of what I was hoping was going to happen. And that should happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. When I first got to smoke wax, like, the dabbing thing and all that shit.
I've never done that before.
Like, I would fucking, oh my God, man. I would do dabs and wake up 5 hours later like a scene from Fight Club, dude. Like, all of a sudden the movie stops, but the whole thing just keeps going. The main character, he's not there. But everything's still moving along around, like, without him, and it's still happening. Wake up not knowing where I am. I'm just fucking in my room. That's all it is. It's just gotten so strong. It's great. It's fantastic.
Dude, that's why I'm not going to try it, because then it's going to take my tolerance away from just regular flower. And I don't want that shit to happen. And bro, I can't believe that they give this shit to people as they're walking out of the dispensary. It's like, oh wait, you guys want to get fucked up real quick before you get in your car and drive wherever the hell you're driving? It's insane, bro. It's
like the good old days of high school dealers, man. Right before you leave, they're like, hey, dude, hold on, before you go. Got a couple other things back here. Let me see how you want to party. Got any more money? It's exactly.
So they give you some of the wax before you leave the store?
Dude, yeah. as a free thing, bro. They got the pipe and shit set up right there on the shelf, and then, dude, these people take a hit, and then they cough their brains out for like 4 minutes straight. Some of them are just sitting in the waiting room, just all fucked up. Yo, it looks like they just got hit by a car. And I'm like, yo, that's just because they're not ready to go get in their car and start driving around, bro. This is what they're doing to people. They don't give a shit. It's crazy, dude. It's
like dump truck OG. They got hit by that.
Yeah, bro.
See, that would be me there, but I'd be there for days just sitting in that waiting room.
There was a place I used to go to back in the day with a friend of mine. They had a bench for people after they did dabs because you need to sit down for like 10, 15 minutes sometimes after that, depending on how much they give you. And that was back when they still gave them to you for free. So before you left, they didn't really have a measurement either. They just get the dabber and glob it on there like a big ball.
Yeah, the more illegal
like
dispensary, the better.
And then be laughing inside, trying to hold in the laughter because they know you're done. You're done after that.
That's the difference between like the dispensaries that are legal. They won't even do that shit anymore. But if they did, it would be like to the exact amount that they're supposed to, whatever, or should. But bro, the illegal dispensaries, the people that work at these places, they're like, they're like, yo, let's see how fucked up we can get this guy. And that's the kind of place you want to go to,
From what I
right?
understand, from what I hear, not that I've been to any illegal dispensaries recently whatsoever, you know, I wouldn't go to them. However, from what I hear, allegedly, it's all like younger folks that work there. It's all like 19, 20-year-olds and shit. So me at my age, that age, if I had the ability to be dabbing somebody like that and being able to laugh with my other teenage coworkers, I probably would have been doing it. If you think about it, it's to everybody's benefit. You're getting fucked up, probably saving money if you're going out to the bar after that. And they're having a great story to bounce back and forth while they're smoking in their truck. You know?
Yeah, dude. Have you ever smoked sativa? I mean, not sativa. Dude, what the fuck is the name of this shit?
Salvia?
Salvia. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I smoked salvia.
Colton, you ever tried that shit?
Back when I used to do the Nug Life thing, dude.
Yeah, what was your experience with salvia?
Oh my god.
Colton, you know what that shit is?
Nobody else would volunteer to do it. Nobody else would do it. And at the time, I would always be down to fucking do anything. So I was like, yeah, man, I'll fucking do it. They packed a bong load of it. And before I can get any kind of instruction or any kind of like heads up onto what kind of ride I was strapping in for, I would have known not to hit it like a normal bong load. Just clear it all in one hit. And as soon as I hit it, everybody else that was at the table doing the show with me, they all looked at me because I pulled the bowl out and I cleared it. And like a scene in a fucking flick, dude, they all looked at me at the same time with a very concerned look on their faces. And I'm holding it in, not thinking nothing of it because I'm not feeling anything yet. And then as I'm letting it out, the same feeling I got when I smoked DMT is the same feeling I got when I exhaled salvia. Yeah. And it just felt like my face came off at the same time. I don't recommend it for anybody. Then after that, I'm told the only coherent thing I said was everything's okay, everything is sideways. So if that's any indication on how it hits your brain. Oh, I also fell out of my chair and thought everybody's head was mounted on a wall. But that is one of the most gnarly drugs. Like after that, I saw videos of people jumping out windows and I was able to empathize. If I'd seen it beforehand, I wouldn't have done it.
Dude, yeah, so just in case anybody doesn't really know what that is, salvia is from a sage plant. It's just a plant that grows, and when you smoke it with like a butane lighter, especially one of those,
that's it.
It would be Salvia divinorum.
There we go.
That's the actual sage plant, but you can smoke this shit. Show maybe salvia smoking.
For the record, that was the one and only time I ever did that, because that was it was too much. And I've done, not to brag or nothing, but I've done a couple things here and there.
Yeah, I would never be able to do that.
All right, so here's the deal. So I was in Florida at the time. I was going to college, and one of my roommates was this total rave master DJ dude. He had turntables and shit in the house, and in the apartment and whatever, and he would spin all the time. His friend Eddie, one day, he's like, "Hey man, do you think you could drive me downtown? We got so fucked up last night that we just left our cars down there. You think you could drive me down there so I can get my car?" And I didn't really like this kid that much, to be honest with you. And he kind of knew it, and he didn't really like. We didn't get along, but he had no choice, and I'm a nice guy, so he asked me, and I was gonna say yes anyway. But then he was talking about salvia. He's like, yo, I paint. He does a lot of artwork for for buildings. So if they want to do like cartoons and artwork and shit on the buildings, he'll do them. So he did one for the smoke shop down in West Palm Beach, Florida. And he's like, dude, they've got salvia down there and they've gave it to us. We were all smoking it last night. We've got some left. I'll save some. We'll smoke it tonight. If you drive me. I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go. So we didn't know how to smoke it either. So we actually went online and looked it up, and we saw that we're talking about salvia divinorum.
Yeah. What do you mean you didn't know how to smoke it? It's literally 2 steps.
Well, so it's recommended. It needs to hit a certain temperature. A regular lighter, it won't release its full effect.
Combustible.
So you got to hit one of those butane lighters that that shoot that shit. When you do it with that, so they recommended like mix a little bit of weed with that, hit it, and then hold it in as long as you can. Do it in a dark room with a bunch of your friends. So we were all,
do it in a dark room.
That's what it said. With the lights off, so to have like a fun effect with your friends. So, bro, what happened was the first person was Eddie, and he took the rip out of a bong. We packed the shit out of that thing. He took it first, and then within like 20 seconds after his hit, he just starts dying laughing, and we're like, "What's up with Eddie?" You know. So I was next because I picked up his car. Within 20 seconds, I'm dying laughing. Right. So we're all going around the room, and dude, honestly, it completely changes your mind state like that. Within like 20 seconds, as soon as like from one side to like, if you're just bored and you're like don't want to do anything, and then you take a hit, you're fucking like, Wah! But then the thing is, it says the more
what Sean is saying is salvia would have been the perfect drug for quarantine.
Bro,
what he's saying.
Put it this way: if you were in your car driving and I'm like, here, hit this, and then you hit it, we're definitely crashing. Definitely. That's how it works. And then, bro, the next time you take a hit, it doubles the intensity because your body already still has the first one kind of in it, and every time you take another hit, it reacts off of it, and it doubles and triples your reaction, dude. So all of a sudden, I'm like, give me that shit. So I fucking hit it again, and then, bro, I was standing up. We had the lights off at the time. We didn't give a fuck anymore. It was so stupid with the lights off. But bro, we had. I took a hit, and all of a sudden I entered like this other dimension, bro. I started bending backwards. I felt like I was Gumby. Like I was stretching and shit. And I was like, oh my God, bro.
Did everything go 2D?
Dude, I was starting to get to the point where in my head, I could have just let myself go and fucking, and then eventually it came back. But I was like nervous, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit, don't. So I was fighting it. I was like trying to fight it so I could stay not going there, bro. But it was taking me there. It was crazy, bro.
Have you ever did mushrooms?
No, I never did mushrooms.
You should do that if you think salvia is fun.
Done mushrooms?
No, I've never tried. I've never done mushrooms.
Really, you should
First
eat like
an eighth.
Like an eighth.
Just eat an eighth?
Dude. Eat like an eighth, and then you'll be like, nice. I felt
Best
one
concert I ever saw was after I ate an eighth of mushrooms. Man, Pantera opening up for Black Sabbath on an eighth of mushrooms, dude. Woo!
Oh, yeah?
Good Lord, dude. It is amazing.
Yeah, you feel one with the universe.
Yeah, that and the guitar solos sound even better than they already really are.
If you do a little bit, yeah, dude. If you do a little bit more, you'll start like hallucinating a little bit. Like the colors will be weird.
I
did
like a quarter. I did like a quarter the day before when we were driving down. And while I was in the car, we were driving down. My friend had tickets for both nights. I had tickets for one night, so I was going to crash out in the hotel with my girlfriend at the time. So I ate the quarter, sitting in the car with them, and all of a sudden the car feels like it's getting smaller and smaller. And so I start squinching up more and more in my seat. And it's getting smaller, and I'm like feeling all fucking scared. So I look over to my friend, and he used to pop his neck a bunch. And as I looked over at him,
wait, what?
He used to pop his neck all the time, like out of nervous, just twitch.
Okay.
Like, you know?
Okay.
Like one of those guys. And he went to go pop his neck. As I looked at him, and his head went all the way around, and his face looked at me in the passenger seat, and then went back. And then right after that, I was like, I am all alone right now. I have nobody. As I looked outside, it's funny you said the hallucinations on a quarter, like a full hallucination, like semi trucks with no wheels, just big blocks like Legos floating down the freeway. And for a split second, I was like, dude, I could probably just get out and walk the rest of the way. You know, it'll be okay. Then I looked, and I was, no, we're going way too fast. I'm just gonna stay in the car. Oh man, it was something.
How long does that last for?
It seemed like it lasted forever, but I think it was
Dude,
only like
it's about 12 hours, right?
8-9 hours for me, I think.
Yeah, I talked to God.
Then it started to like come down.
See, the salvia, bro, it only lasts like 30 seconds, and then like you come back. It's not
Yeah, that's
long.
why it's just not that fun. It's like
long.
up and then it's done.
Yeah.
Like
But when you do
right
that
when it
fucking
starts to get
flip out on
interesting.
it,
And then you
yeah,
do it when,
flip out on it and fucking
Yeah,
jump
the
out
com-
windows. It's for that split second, and it just like makes them do shit. I guess I don't know.
dude, yeah, it was just, it's so weird. And I just felt like such shit afterwards, like almost as if like you just smoked a huge blunt of dog shit weed. Now you're just baked and you don't want to do anything. Like that's how I felt for like the whole rest of that night and like the next morning
Yeah, like a headache.
until I smoked it again, and then fucking wild
Until
out
I
again.
smoked it again. That always makes it better. If ever you're having a kind of bad, any kind of day, smoke more of something, and it'll make everything better.
So what happened when you talked to God, Kev?
I told him I'm not going to talk to him because that's how people go crazy. And then, for real, I was like, hey, Kev, this is God. And then I was like, is this God or is this me talking to myself telling me I'm God? And then he was like, no, dude, it's God.
He said, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, he said, nah, dude, it's God. So I said, sorry, God, I can't talk to you because that's how people go crazy.
And then you sat there for 12 hours with him.
No, I sat there in this bench thing, and I felt like I was going in warp speed, but I wasn't moving at all. This was about 4.5 grams. The hero dose is 5.
Wow.
I never got to hero.
Oof.
What about, did you say you've done ayahuasca or DMT or?
Oh no, but I wanted to, but not anymore.
What about you?
DMT is a blast.
Have you ever done that shit?
Yeah, that's the same thing. I've only done it once because it was super duper intense, man.
Where was that?
Oh, I'm a much older man now.
Was that in the jungles of Peru?
Oh no, I did it in the garage of a North Park home. That's where I did that.
Was it ayahuasca or DMT? Which one?
DMT.
DMT.
Yeah, the dude that gave it to me, he goes, "Oh, you're supposed to be given this whenever you do get it, so that way you can try it for the first time. You're never supposed to buy it. If you buy it, it's not the real shit. So I'm gonna give it to you. You can try it. Just smoke it with weed. You have to smoke it with weed." Like, okay,
Why
man.
do you gotta smoke everything with weed?
You got it, bro.
Oh, yeah.
He said to put it on top of weed, like you, like top it, because it's too strong to smoke by itself. Is what he told me. It was these little
I like how that dude
little,
looked at you.
gold chunks. It was weird. It was like wax crumble. What it looked like.
that dude took one look at you. He's like, hey, he's a pussy. Hey, put some weed on there, dog.
No, dude, he's like, you got to smoke it with
I
crack.
showed him when I left that garage and I went and smoked it. I didn't have weed, so I just put it all in a bubbler and smoked a bowl in the bubbler, figuring it would be, I smoked a lot of weed. It's not a big deal. And I smoked it all. And same thing like with the other shit. As soon as I blew the smoke out, felt like my face came off. And all of a sudden, the curtains in my kitchen were going straight up, flapping in the wind, but there was no wind. And the screen on my TV turned just white, and I saw 2 eyes looking back at me. And then a corner of my eye, I saw this black figure going back and forth.
Why is he gotta be black?
And I knew somebody was going to say that shit.
Why is he gotta be black?
Wait, maybe he
I
was
don't know.
Mexican.
It's DMT.
Was he Mexican?
It was.
So how long
I'm just going
does
to go
that
with a
last?
silhouette.
No, so go on. So you see this black figure, what, out of the corner of your eye?
Yeah, and that was it. That was the extent of how high it got me. Was
How long
just
was
seeing
that
all
high?
that shit together for, I'd say tops a minute.
Oh, okay.
And that was it.
Did you hear anything?
No, I didn't hear shit. Well, that's another thing. I didn't hear anything at all. It was like totally silent. So everything went totally quiet too.
Kevin looks like he's tweaking out on it right now. Kevin, what are you looking at, bro?
Oh, I'm doing a little bit of work right now too, so I'm kind of like looking at fucking shit.
Okay. Oh, you got a little setup out there?
Yeah, you know, we're working from home, so we gotta like. I got a standing desk coming in, so I'm pretty stoked about it.
Nice. That's dope.
Yeah.
Does it come up and down so you can decide which one you want to do? Whatever.
Yeah, it's electric. It's on an electric motor, so
Nice.
it's Gucci.
That's awesome, bro. Yo, did you guys see the ACC opened up yesterday?
Yep.
Yeah,
let
dude.
the test subjects go in.
No, that's awesome, man. I mean, Josh Krebs, Jordan Coburn, Andrew Tarr. I know that those three went up. Who else?
Gordon
The
Downs.
people have people
Gordon
who have
Downs.
nothing of life to lose.
Brian Moses too went up. I think he was the headliner.
Yeah, that was it. I think it was those guys. Everybody and all of them. That's awesome. I mean, good for them.
That's cool. They had a good lineup, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I still don't want to go out
people
there.
for that shit.
Dude, you know what the thing is? I mean, I don't want to go out there either. I'm nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to each their own. Everybody's got a different level of. I mean, bro, it's crazy because if you look at like what's going on in like Wisconsin and Florida, it's like nothing's even going on. It's like there's no such thing as the virus, right? And then here we are, just everybody's driving around with masks and gloves on and fucking being all weird and but that's not weird. Like, what's weird? Who knows, right? So everybody's somewhere in the extreme and then somewhere in the middle. So
In Missouri, they had a pool party.
yeah, bro, it's fucking nuts. It's nuts.
I feel like I'm doing shit for nothing. Like I don't know.
I mean, sometimes you almost feel like that. But
I know for me, like I was helping a relative. They've had a few surgeries in like 2 months, so I was around them a lot, and I was trying to be cautious and careful. So staying away from people altogether wasn't that bad because there was a good reason behind it.
right.
So other than that, now I'm going back to work tomorrow, hence no more beard and whatnot. So
Where do you work at?
Paradise Lounge, cooking food.
Is that like a strip club or something?
Right next door to it.
Nice.
Is it really? Where's it next door to?
Strip club.
Which one?
Yeah.
Deja Vu. I don't go there for 2 months and I forget the name. Deja Vu, right?
Hey, when are strip clubs going to be opened up? Let's get to the real shit.
Did you say Deja
Yeah,
Vu?
you already got to stand so far away from them when they're doing their dance and shit for you.
Yeah.
So-
now
Is that
it's
the
from
one
16
by Sports Arena, Deja Vu?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you make the food for their buffet there? Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, not the strip club, man. I work next door at.
Okay. I got confused.
I don't know how
What did
people
it
can
be?
even eat it. Can you eat at a strip club?
Yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah. The only strip clubs I go to have
I
a
wouldn't
buffet.
recommend it, dude. They might have STDs.
Not anymore. There's not gonna be no more buffets. But
Oh, I know.
there's still at Cheetah's. They'll probably still have that ribeye. So there's that.
I didn't know Cheetahs had a ribeye.
Dude, that's what they're
It's
known
That's a ribeye, my friend.
Hey
Thank
man,
God for
it's
ribeye.
the only place where you could get a roast beef and a ribeye at the same time.
for.
It's the only time
Yeah.
I don't mind some.
So
sloppy
you're not
beef on a
afraid to
plate, you know?
go. You're not afraid to go back to work then, Tommy?
Dude, he's in the kitchen. He's chilling.
Yeah, I'm pretty much by myself.
Yeah. See, I don't give a
Just,
shit. But if it
God,
comes
I
to
always
me,
wear gloves anyway because I'm cooking. You know,
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna worry about that shit.
What about the servers? Would you be worried about them a little bit more?
Oh, I know the way out of there, so I don't have to talk to nobody.
No, but I mean, like, what if you were one of them? Like, if you were out there dealing with the public, and
Well, I still gotta
would you feel
run
comfortable?
food and shit like that. So I guess I'm gonna run into people because I've been there for like 3 years now. So
But it's better in your position right now that you're in the kitchen. You kind of feel a little bit safer back there, right?
yeah, it's it's not a big deal as much as it was before because I'm just here at my house now. Not gonna really be having contact with the person I was worried about. So
Yeah.
it's a different situation now. So I don't really don't mind so much. And plus, I can now make myself a Philly cheesesteak to go home.
There we go. That's what it's all about.
There you go.
See, I'm not afraid to go out, but if it comes to my benefits getting cut off within employment, then I'm afraid to go out, you know? So
How long have you been unemployed for? And is it fun employed or is it not fun employed?
I don't understand the second question.
Is it not fun?
Oh, I'm having a great time. I don't mind getting free money more than I'm already getting what I was supposed to get working at my employer.
Does that make you feel good or bad?
It makes me feel like a man.
What, to get unemployed and be like, damn, dude, I made it.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, don't you feel like you made it? You're just chilling now. You're not really
I
doing
don't
too
know,
much.
dude. I've never been unemployed.
Oh, not
I
you.
never have
Yeah, you're
either,
totally
so.
working. I'm talking about this other loser over here.
I'm soaking it up like a sponge.
I
But,
don't blame you, man. Past 2
yeah.
months, that's what it's pretty much been like.
Yeah.
You know, didn't get any kind of benefits until late because my shit went out late, so wasn't really doing too much anyway. But as long as rent was paid, that's all I care about.
And then when
Yeah.
you got
No.
them, bam, there they were.
Obviously, and obviously food.
Oh, well, Grubhub, man.
Grubhub.
And after the job that I worked at, Paradise was nice enough to give all the employees the stuff that would be perishable within like a week.
Oh, nice.
So they split it up amongst a bunch of us. And
So what'd you get?
so what did you get? I ate a lot of cheese sandwiches. I'll say that.
That's it? I'm
Well,
thinking,
cheese
like,
sandwiches. What else the fuck did I have, dude? I've been high like the whole time. It's hard to remember what I ate.
What kind of cheese?
Swiss. It was
What kind of
Swiss
bread?
cheese. Bacon. There was bacon.
What kind of bread was it?
What kind of bread was rolls? I had French rolls for a while.
Did they give you those, or did you buy those?
No, they gave me those.
Okay.
I get buying French rolls. Man.
Did they give you meat or fish or any like protein?
Did they? God damn. I think, what did they fucking eggs. I got eggs. Did get eggs. Got some eggs. Yeah.
Okay, are eggs meat or not?
Protein.
Yeah,
No.
Not a meat.
I got eggs, bacon, and cheese and bread. That is what sticks out in my mind right now.
Very good.
So I was eating like BLTs and stuff. There's no tomato. Give me that.
Oh, real quick, just because we usually do this at this top of the show, but we didn't do it today, I just want to give a big shout out to Bart Sampson.
Yeah, shout out to Bart Sampson, everybody. Without Bart, the show wouldn't be able to come through your speakers and into your beautiful ears. So, big shout out to Bart.
Colton's Facebook account is just hanging on by a thread at this point. It's just
Yeah, I'm one strike away from getting banned apparently.
What have you been
For
doing?
what?
Dude, I don't know, man. They sent me all these times that I've been warned, and I screenshot it. Apparently, on December 12th, I was warned twice for not following the community standards of nudity or sexual activity, which is bullshit. The 28th, we were flagged twice because of the show and someone hacked our room. And on the 20th, I decided to post a video with a loaf of French bread between my crotch, and they thought it was my penis.
yo.
Not saying much for your penis.
But you know what? It's one of those. Like, bro, I can't believe that Facebook banned me for, or like flagged me for this. And then he sends it to me, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, Colton, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I couldn't even tell what it was, but it was that TikTok video. Bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house.
Bored in the house. I'm in the house bored.
Yeah. So it's him completely naked with, like, it looks like his dick is shoved into a fucking moldy piece of like, it doesn't even look like bread. I don't know what it is.
It was a
Hey, what
loaf
if it's
of
like a
Italian
Pringles
bread.
can? Like a
It
Pringles
was
can?
bread before he fucked it, Sean.
It was what?
It was bread before he fucked it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Pringles
my,
can?
we can't show it because that's what we get Bart.
Yeah, show the picture.
No, I can show you though what my notification is. Here's my history.
Oh, there's the picture on the left there.
Yeah,
God,
we won't go into it.
But
I'll
look
put
at
the
that.
cursor over it. But so my next one is 30 days if I get hit again, and then it's banned for life after that. But the part that's retarded is that there's no one to fucking talk to at Facebook, and the reality of it is I never once showed any nudity. It was the illusion of nudity. But you know, you're arguing with a fucking robot over there. So,
Your Honor, I'd like to put Exhibit A for the jury. This is not my dick, Your Honor. I merely was having intercourse with this baked good, and you misunderstood. You know,
yeah,
Your Honor.
yeah.
I'd like to move for her dismissal. Change of venue to MySpace, please, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you. I would jump ship to MySpace right now after all this bullshit. On a serious note, I was telling Sean this the other day. It's really pissing me the fuck off because one, in the reality of it, I never once showed nudity, and two, it's like I have to tailor my sense of creativity and humor to a fucking robot that's sensing whatever I post as offensive or not offensive. So it's very fucking annoying.
Have you been up near where actual Facebook is?
No, I've no desire to ever go there.
The small town of Facebook?
No, what's it like?
Up in the Bay. I used to live out in San Jose, and I did catering jobs around all that area and stuff. So we used to go there, and my boss at the time, he goes, "Hey, see those buildings over there?" I go, "Yeah." At the time, it looked like a complex, like a compound. I was like, "Yeah, what is that?" He goes, "That's Facebook." I go, "Oh, which building's Facebook?" He goes, "All of those buildings are Facebook." Like, Jesus Christ! Like at the time, it was already a bunch of buildings. I understand now it's almost like that whole peninsula up in the Bay Area.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like just so much. Like I don't know who you would actually talk to. I don't know if there's actual people there or if they're not plugged in like they are on the Matrix, just sitting there with a wire in their head.
Yeah, I don't know. What I do like how in Grand Theft Auto they call Facebook life hacker. You ever notice that?
I didn't notice that.
Oh, there's a mission where you have to blow up the life hacker building, and it's the same exact font and everything.
That's
fucking amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Let me see if I can find it
that,
real quick.
The last one? Is that the last one?
Yeah. Hang on.
The all three dudes?
Yeah, I love that. I still play that game all the time.
That's the best one. That one in Vice City, I think.
Yeah, no, it is. Where the hell is it? Life hacker.
Life hacker.
Dude, it's so funny. They have pretty much. Oh, Life Invader. That's it. It's called Life Invader. Yeah, this is it. So this is one of the missions, and you have to, and see how it's even got like instead of the ad.
That's what it looks like.
Yep. And so they have that, and one of the missions you have to go there and just like blow up the whole building.
That's a trip.
It's awesome, dude. Rockstar puts out some fucking amazing games.
I remember playing that not too long ago and noticing, like, holy shit, this is Santa Monica Pier. That's the exact like duplicate of Santa Monica Pier. It's such a mind fuck, dude. And then you get to blow it up and stuff. It's so cool.
What about,
it takes place in San Andreas. San Andreas is supposed to be. Let me look it up.
What is it?
Los Santos is Los Angeles.
Santos. That's what it is. I feel like an asshole.
And then San Andreas. Okay, so it says right here. Hang on.
Drive to like Liberty City and all these other places.
Yeah, Liberty City, New York City. San Andreas takes place in the fictional characters based on California, Nevada, Los Santos, Los Angeles, San Fierro, San Francisco.
Yep.
Las Venturas.
Vegas, right?
Yeah, dude. They're all based off real shit, but it's all fictional.
Yeah, you guys You play games? You guys play video games?
Kind of,
No,
sort
we're
of. I
just
try not
talking
to
about
because
it, Sean, for 5 minutes.
Well,
that's like my extent, because if I get an actual system, I won't do anything else.
yeah, I don't have a system anymore because I'm too busy for a system. But not anymore. Right now, I wish I had a system. But when things go back to normal, I won't wish I had one anymore. But
Sean, you're gonna buy a system in a home gym, and then 2 weeks later, everything's gonna open.
I know.
There's gonna be cushions on the home gym so you can play the video game.
Yeah, and I don't exactly. But yeah, I mean, the PlayStation 5 is going to be coming out pretty soon, and the new Xbox Series One X is going to be coming out this year at the end of the year. And they were showing
I'm
some.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the first Xbox that I had, because that's how long ago I actually owned one. It played a part in breaking up a relationship. I'm pretty sure. I spent so much time playing like the dumbest fucking games too.
Yeah.
Like an Army of Darkness game. I would sit in the room, turn all the lights off, just sit there and do bong rips and play Army of Darkness. So I'm pretty sure that could wear on a relationship after.
Do you ever play Counter-Strike?
No.
Dude, Counter-Strike was the shit for Xbox. I don't know if they had it for PlayStation. It says PlayStation 5 is supposed to come out October, November this fall.
Yeah, dude. So it's pretty crazy because what happened was, and it's always a console war. So Microsoft and Sony are always releasing these consoles pretty much simultaneously, and PlayStation was the dominant force for a while there until they kind of really dropped the ball with the PlayStation 3 just because it was so fucking expensive to make that they were taking such a huge loss every single time they sold one, but charging people for the PlayStation Network and games, they figured that they'd make it back. They had a lot of first-party games, but really it was like they were bragging about like their cell processor and how powerful it is, but they were so late, and that Xbox beat them to the game, and everybody just went next generation gaming with Microsoft, and then all those games ended up being developed on the Microsoft system and ported to the Sony to play on Sony, and people were like, "Hey, it doesn't look better on the PlayStation. The PlayStation sucks." But it was developed for the Xbox, then ported over for PlayStation. But if you built something specifically for the PlayStation, like an exclusive that can handle the cell processor, then it was an amazing game. But they really kind of blew it. And they knew they couldn't fuck up again with the PlayStation 4, and they did a great job with the PlayStation 4. The sales on the PlayStation 4 have been really, really great. And now with the PlayStation 5 coming out and the new Xbox coming out, it's really like it's a battle again. It's a heated war for these console nerds. And Xbox kind of struck first with, "Hey, this is what our console does," and they were talking about like ray tracing and shit like that. And then Sony comes out, and then they show what their specs are going to be, but none of them showed games. Microsoft then finally decided to say, "We're going to show some gameplay of the next gen console." And at the event, they didn't show any gameplay. It was just all the in-game cinematic footage. It was not actual gameplay, and that's bullshit because a 3DO can show you fucking amazing, bullshit in between the gameplay. You know what I'm saying? So it was a huge disappointment. And then so Sony has yet to really come forth and show anything, but Unreal Engine just kind of leaked something out, and they're working on this. They're working on this game, and they're showing this real-time demo running on the PlayStation 5. And this is really the first time anybody's able to see what the PlayStation 5 is capable of. So I just want to show you that real quick, just so you guys can see with this shit, because it's pretty impressive.
And what game is this?
So this is right here. Unreal Engine 5 empowers artists to achieve unprecedented levels of details and interactivity, and brings the capabilities within practice and reach. Blah, blah. I'm not sure the name of the game, but they talk about their new system, how it runs, and check this out.
Lumen. We're about to show you what it is capable of. But first, there was another area that we thought we could push forward. Truly virtualized geometry. The artist wouldn't have to be
This has to be.
Damn.
Before we continue, let's stop a moment and take a look at some of the key features of this demo. Much of what you see was built with Quixel Megascan assets, but instead of using the game versions, we used the cinematic versions, which would typically only be used in film. There are around 1 million triangles each, and thanks to virtual texturing, they all use 8K textures as well. Nanite can render an insane number of triangles very quickly. There are over 1 billion triangles of source geometry in each frame that Nanite crunches down losslessly to around 20 million drawn triangles. What does that many triangles look like? This isn't noise. These are the triangles, each a different color. Most are so small that they look like noise. Nanite achieves detail down to the pixel, which means triangles are often the size of pixels. This amount of geometric detail requires shadows to be pixel accurate as well, and Nanite can do that too. Speaking of lighting, all of the lighting in this demo is completely dynamic. With the power of Lumen, that even includes multi-bounce global illumination. No light maps, no baking here. Without GI, all of that beautiful lighting is gone. With Lumen enabled, we can move the light and the bounce changes instantly.
Wow.
Okay, let's keep going. We've made some great additions to our audio system as well. Convolution reverb allows us to measure reverberation characteristics of real spaces, like actual caves that we sampled, and reproduce them in virtual spaces. Sound field rendering allows us to record and playback spatialized audio. All of this adds up to a more immersive experience.
Does it show her topless?
That's what I'm waiting for. I'm thinking that's what it's building up to.
Yeah.
This swarm of bats was created with our Niagara effects system. Particles in Niagara can now talk to one another and understand their environment like never before.
Yes. Son of a bitch. And when does this come out?
Look at that shit. It's insane, right? Talk about the lighting and the way it bounces off the walls and the reflections. Look at that shit.
That's amazing.
It's like super black.
It's crazy that like I don't even know how like a telephone works, but yet these people are like designing these fucking games, dude.
I'm just glad they exist. I couldn't do that shit.
I know.
I've tried to learn stuff like that, like programming and stuff like that. And I guess I don't have the patience.
Dude, yeah, I tried to teach myself JavaScript once, and it's pretty crazy how you could fuck up one thing in a line of coding and just the whole program doesn't work at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was it? There was, I took, it was like a beginner's computer animation type class
Yep.
at college, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like got to a certain point, like you say, you don't put like one little small thing in, you miss a colon, you miss a letter or a number anywhere, any kind of little thing. You don't.
The thing though is
It's an anxiety attack waiting to happen.
Yeah, these games though have a whole team of people working on them also, you know, so I'm sure like if you fuck up, there's like 40 people looking at the same line of code and everyone, you know, can get it after a while. But it is that's very impressive how far they've come.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty exciting to see. I know that one of the things that Sony talked about at their press conference when they were talking about the PlayStation 5 is how immense they're going to get when it comes to the sound. And hearing these guys talk about the sound really kind of tells me that it's something that they're taking as seriously as well, because they actually went as far as getting scans of people's ears and trying to find out the average of what a person's ear canal is. So with a headset on, they'd be able to hear as accurately as possible. And if you want, you can send in money and then they will send you the thing to scan your ear. And then you can actually have your own sound profile made for you and in your PlayStation 5. So when you're listening to these games, you're listening to them directly into your ear canal, which is fucking insane.
But do you think maybe they're doing that so they can get the DNA that'll be left from your ear on the scanner, and Microsoft or whoever is going to start making clones of people. They're going to have all these DNA threads that they can play with, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you come knocking at your door to take over your life, Sean.
Dude, you know what it could be too? It's also it could be that. Or it could be the other side of it, like they're more of like, let's get these guys on the Matrix side of it, like because, Sony's already been dabbling with like VR, and they've already got like a pretty cool system going. I mean, I've tried it with with Gran Turismo Sport before, and it's fucking amazing to have the VR set on and drive inside the car and turn and see like what it looks like outside the windows from the inside of the vehicle. It's really amazing.
Yeah, Warren's cool like that.
But that's nothing compared to where it's heading. And Sony believes that the sound is such a huge part of it too. Because like, dude, I mean, if you're playing Call of Duty and you have surround sound in your house, you can hear someone coming from the back left, and you can turn around and shoot them. You have such an advantage to somebody who's just listening to the speakers coming out of their television.
Right.
And if you can get that surround sound and all that shit going too.
Directly into your ear, you don't need surround sound.
Oh,
you just
really?
have it directly, a headset that goes into your ear canal that's designed for your ear canal. Those sound waves are going to, dude, they're talking about how amazing it's supposed to be. So I think they're building
I don't trust
up.
it, Sean.
Yeah, I think they're building it up for VR. I think they want.
I don't trust it at all.
Crazy experience. It's insane. Yeah.
It's the
Dude,
same
that's
thing.
like
Same thing with the DNA testing for your family tree.
I don't trust that. No,
I'm not sending my blood anywhere.
Nope.
I'm not sending a toothpick or with my spit on it or whatever the fuck they want.
Nope.
Not
it's
doing
so
it. I don't
funny
trust
with
the
that
census.
shit.
I don't trust any of them.
Dude, you know what?
Dude,
I win some money on a scratcher. I'm moving to a shed somewhere in the mountain. That's what I'm going to be.
Dude, I'm kind of confused because I'm seeing people on Facebook and they're like, I just went and got my second COVID test and I'm negative again. And I'm thinking like, what the fuck? Why are you doing that? Are you just bored and you're like, hey, you just want to go get tested even though we don't have it? Like, shouldn't it be for people who feel like they might have it? Like, what's going on? What the fuck why is people doing that?
yeah, it's not like you're leaving the bar and you're getting STD tested a week later from having sex with an overweight Jewish girl that you told you were a dentist to, Like, it's not like anything like that.
That sounds a little too specific, bro.
Sure does. Sure does, bro.
We should hang out.
It's weird though. I mean, like I understand that there's different kind of tests too. I think there's the antibody test, so you can go and find out if you've had it before and you've had antibodies for it. But I mean, if you currently are testing negative, if you had it in January, you're not going to test positive for coronavirus now. So, or even in February or March. So I mean, it's just I don't understand why people are going and wasting tests if they've been in quarantine and they're like not going out, they're not feeling symptomatic. Why they're just going in their car when they could, and then going to a testing center where maybe the guy in front of them is coughing their fucking lungs off and they think that they have it. And that's why they're at the testing center. Like, why are you putting yourselves in that fucking position in the first place? What is this? Is it just, what are you doing? The fuck, what are you guys doing? If you're doing it and you're watching the show, fucking message me. Tell me what you're doing.
Who is this asshole that's doing that? Call him out.
Multiple people.
You know somebody, and you need to tell them. If you're a friend, you will tell the person that you are pretending not to know right now.
Bro, listen, they could have a very valid idea. They could be like, oh, I'm doing it because of this. I'm like, oh, okay. They could say, hey, listen, it's because I'm going to go see my family member because they're sick in the hospital and I got to go and okay, cool. But that's the fucking problem with social media. Someone will be like, someone will tag themselves in the hospital and be like, uh-oh, and then check themselves into the hospital. And you'll be like, oh my God, bro, are you all right? Holy shit, is everything okay? And they'll ignore you for like 3 days. And they'll be like, oh yeah, no big deal. Just to fucking, stub my toe. And you're like, fuck you, dick. I was hoping I was hoping something really happened to you, you piece of shit. How could you leave?
There's still people having to constantly update you about where they're at.
Yeah, fuck that shit. So
You don't need to tell everybody every 5 minutes what the fuck you're doing.
no, if they're gonna share their information and they're gonna leave me hanging with some things, like you need to let me know a little bit more, or else you're letting too many people ask questions.
Have a personal life, you know? Have a private life. And just post shitty dick jokes like I do all day on Facebook. just silly jokes and events that I'm producing, stuff like that, podcasts. Now why do you gotta make it so confrontational all the time, you know? Just have fun. Enjoy life. We all know that some shit's going wrong. You don't need to point it out every 5 fucking seconds, or just throw some clickbait up on your profile because you're bored and you want to digitally argue with somebody.
I know, it's
just enjoy the time that you have. Vacation is already over. We're going back to work. Everybody's going back to work. We're going to be careful. Everything's going to be fine. I tell myself this in the mirror in the morning every day.
It sounds like it's rehearsed, bro.
Be fine. No one's going to die.
Everyone's gonna die, bro. This woman in fucking Wisconsin or Michigan, or no, you know what it was? I think it was Wisconsin or some shit. She works at a beauty salon. She exposed 91.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
This bitch was sick. She didn't even feel good, and she was working. She had a mask on. So did all of the people who came in.
Sean.
It doesn't mean
it was only 59 people. That's a very low number, Sean.
No, it was
59 is a low number. It's a reasonable number. It's a number we can work with. We can work with the number. It's not 60. Had it been 60, that'd be a reason to worry. Because people tend to focus on even numbers, Sean. That is the problem, is even numbers. That's what this argument is really about. Even numbers. It's nothing about a virus, nothing about a sickness. You need to concentrate. It's politics in general.
I agree with Tommy.
Not focus on it no more. You're making me frazzled.
But what I'm saying is, it could be over. Like, I know that it's contradictory to your morning routine of this is going to be okay. It's all going to go away. Everything's going to be...
My morning anxiety attack.
It is. But something that kind of makes me excited about things kind of going back to normal is how Mike Tyson's ready to fucking fight again. You guys see this shit?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Dude, 53-year-old Tyson, this dude is a fucking monster, bro.
He's doing like promos for that other wrestling league too.
AEW.
Yeah, he's like presenting the championship belt to people and shit. It's like he's back on his own shit, dude. He did that when D-Generation X was in WWF. He would come out there and fucking...
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I gotta look that up.
Dude, he loves that shit. He loves that wrestling shit. He loves UFC. He's always chilling. Like, I know him and Dana White become friends. They're always fucking... He's always inviting him to fights. You always see Tyson at the big-ass fights. He loves it. Wrestling, fighting. Bro, he can't stay away from it.
But you've seen the video, right?
Which one?
The video of him, like, sparring and...
Yeah.
Yeah, we showed that a couple weeks ago.
Woo!
Yeah,
He's
so
a beast.
Frightening.
Here's another video.
He's like 60-some years old or something like that?
This is a montage.
So who's he trying to fight?
So what he said
that I read, I don't know if it's just internet bullshit, but Evander Holyfield is supposedly going to fight him in an exhibition fight.
So Tyson says, like, I'll come back and I'll fight, but I want it to be for charity. You know what I'm? He wants it to be like for good, and he's training and doing all of his back shit, and then all of a sudden, 57-year-old Evander Holyfield training and shit too, and he's kind of saying that he'll fight him, right? But
I'd watch that.
He's gonna get fucked up, bro. I think he's gonna get fucked up. First of all,
who's older? Is it Holyfield's older?
He's 4 years older, but
okay.
But there's a big difference in those 4 years. I think So Evander Holyfield has been on Joe Rogan's podcast before, and if you've watched that podcast, you're kind of like, oh man, yeah, okay. Holyfield this guy used to be a boxer. You could tell, like, you know, he's kind of just like he's been hit in the head a lot.
Gotcha.
Tyson, not so much. You know what I'm saying? You can see in that footage right there that Tyson looks like a fucking savage, bro. He's a
That's
beast.
a beast. That is a monster.
Look at this fucking guy, 53.
He will eat you in the middle of the ring alive.
Bro,
He
like,
will destroy you.
meanwhile, so Holyfield, right?
Yes.
He's been training. He's saying he's back. He's kind of calling out Tyson. And Holyfield's been training with Vladimir Klitschko. This dude is a fucking boxing master,
That's
bro.
awesome.
But
That
check
is
it out. So here's some video of Holyfield.
I'm gonna put my money on Tyson.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm thinking.
There was no boxing. It was just him training.
Dude, I think that Holyfield even made a comment about saying something like, no, like trying to knock out, no like headshot, no trying to like knock anybody out, and you know he doesn't want a match like that. But dude, I don't think you can hold an animal
So
like
what the fuck?
Tyson back, bro.
What am I gonna watch?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you can hold Tyson back. He bit that guy's fucking ear off. It's the same guy whose ear he bit off.
He lost his mind in a boxing match and made it like deformed the man.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. He's younger. He's bigger. He looks faster. He looks stronger.
I remember my mom when I was a little kid. My mom ordered a Tyson fight so my brother, and I could all watch this Tyson fight. And she yelled. She got mad because the fight was too short. She got like legit pissed off because she paid for this fucking pay-per-view fight, and it lasted like what was it? It was like 30 seconds or something like that, like one of the shortest fights in
Which
history.
fight was it? I remember that fight, dude. I remember how fast that went when I was a kid.
He came in, no robe, no nothing. He just came in, fucking walked up, gloves already on, ready to fucking rock. And he just walked in the ring. And as soon as the bell rung, it seemed like he just, from my memory, I was a little kid, but he threw like 3 punches. Guy was done. He just went down and could not get up.
Damn.
Oh man, it was amazing. I remember that was my favorite boxer to watch.
Oh yeah, he's an absolute savage. But you knew that those pay-per-view events weren't going to last. You weren't going to get an exciting, like 10-round, 8-round. You're going to get something quick with Tyson in the round.
I don't think it ever really got
quick in the first round.
Like for him fighting until what was it? What was it, dude? Didn't he fought the dude that was in the Rocky movie too? From oh man, I can't remember his name. I think it was him. But when he started getting a little bit older, he started seemingly partying a little more, having too much fun. Like he seemed like his fights got a little bit longer, and you could see him get more winded and shit. But in comparison to even now to then, now he even looks better than he did like towards the end of his career when he was younger.
Yeah.
Dude, the thing is too, it's all mental. A lot of it is mental too. And towards the end of his career, he didn't want that shit anymore. You can see towards his end fights, he was almost giving up. He was just kind of just pushing the fighters off, like just kind of saying like, "No, I didn't want it." But
that's one of my favorite things still is boxing. Even though I kind of some of them I feel like they're not as fair as they could be.
Yeah.
I remember one of the last fights. I was really excited. I was much younger when it happened. De La Hoya versus Strum. I don't know if you remember that, but obviously, like De La Hoya got rolled up, dude. Like he really took a vicious beating, dude. And I would say from from what I remember when I was a little kid watching that, I was like, oh man, it sucks to watch De La Hoya lose a fight for like the first time ever. Oh man, I always remember him winning. And then at the end of the fight, it was called on decision for De La Hoya. And I was like, just thinking, that doesn't seem right. That seems like something's wrong there.
Dude, boxing is just such a corrupt. It's become such a corrupt sport. It's just ridiculous. I mean, there's so much more incentive to be paid out gambling wise than anything else. You know, you could throw the fight. This happens, this and that. Do it
It's
in this
still
round.
such an amazing fucking sport, though, boxing.
Oh man, if you could do it clean, dude, that's why Dana White was so like he's learned a lot when he was building up the UFC to try to make it what it is, just trying to give fighters the incentive to with knockout bonuses or fight of the night bonuses. He does that in every single one of the fights because he doesn't want people. He wants you to go out there and knock somebody the fuck out. And if you do it, I'll give you an extra $75,000 or $100,000 or whatever, $50,000, whatever he's given out. And then sometimes that knockout becomes the fight of the night. You're cleaning up with both of those on top of your payday. So it's going to be a good day for you. Just try to keep it good and clean. But dude, some of these people just went in and stood just to stand face to face with Tyson. They took 3 shots. They were laying down on the ground. People were getting paid. It just kept getting moved on. But that doesn't take anything away from Tyson. It was just this guy's a fighter.
No. I remember seeing you could hear the punches he was landing. Those 3 punches sounded very, very hard, Sean. So it was understandable that the guy fell on the ground as fast as he did.
And he knows that when he gets back up.
It's a testament to his ability, because that's amazing. When I was a kid, I was actually at 23, I'll say 22, 23. I got to do security for the Boxing Hall of Fame at some Inland Empire casino. And I got to meet all these guys like, Bobby Chacon was one of them. I feel like such an asshole.
That's what happens when you smoke, right? That's what happens when you smoke at the beginning of the show. You forget the names. But
there was a bunch of them there. There was a bunch of them there. A bunch of like legendary fucking boxers.
You'll remember later and be like, fuck.
I remember that. Stallone showed up because they were honoring him for Rocky. But after the fact, I got to hang out in the bar with them because at the time I was still fucking drinking, and it's fucking trippy because I was trying to talk to one of them, this younger dude it seemed like, and trying to talk to him, and even while I was drunk, I was still like, oh man, seems like your edge got knocked off a little bit there over the years, buddy. There's a couple wires might be touching that shouldn't be. That's too bad. You're an amazing fighter, though. You are an amazing man. They're like all fucking such fucking amazing fucking. And even though you can tell they've been in the ring for a while, but they're still like they're huge and yoked. And I'm not sure they're even really doing anything anymore, but they were always like it looked huge, dude, and like such respect for all that. But you can tell that that wears on you. And man, the wear they put on their body and what they put themselves through just for that sport to be able to pull off that level of professionalism. Have you worked out and have you boxed and done any of that kind of shit?
So I'm a photographer, and I used to, back on the East Coast before I moved out to California, I used to photograph a lot of Ring of Combat fights. And Ring of Combat is a big professional league, and they're based. They do most of their fights out of Atlantic City. So a lot of the times I would go down to Atlantic City and photograph the fights ringside. And then when the fights would end, I would go in the ring and photograph the fighters, and they're holding up, announcing the winner and all that shit. So for me, it was every single time I've been to an MMA fight, I've been photographing it. I've been to a lot of them. I've been to some Strike Force fights. In like Tulsa, Oklahoma, I used to travel and do a lot and like seen Daniel Cormier knock the fuck out of somebody when he was still coming up, and then now he's dope pictures of him sitting on the ring flexing right after his win. And then you see who these guys end up becoming in their career. It's amazing, dude. Blood spurting on you, on your camera while I'm, wiping it off. Seeing what these guys are fucking. It's when you're seeing it in real life, it's like it's so much more real than it is on TV. When they're blood and sweat, when you can hear. Dude, the other day on last week during the UFC fights, one of the guys, his teeth were fucking falling out. He's knocking his teeth out, and he was handing them to the referee so he can grab them so they could try to put them back in later.
That's
It was
awful.
just fucking it's brutal, bro. It's brutal what these guys and these girls go out there and they fight for it. And
Dudes are soldiers, man. Those
dude,
are awesome athletes, dude.
you would stay in the hotel that night, and then the next morning you see the fighters walking around getting breakfast. They're in the elevator, and they are fucking. You got to see. You think it looks bad after the fight? You got to see what it looks like the next morning.
When it
man.
settles and it sets in.
Bro,
Oh yeah.
everything is so swollen and just so brutal. It's like you just look at it. You're in the elevator with some of the fighters, and you're just like, Jesus Christ.
That's one of the things
Holy
that I was
shit.
bummed out about Del Mar Fair this year, because no Del Mar Fair means no boxing, because they usually have some amateur boxing matches going on
Oh,
for at
okay.
least a couple days, at least a weekend, and they also have usually they have MMA at the Del Mar Fair. They have all that kind of stuff. So that was one of the things I was really bummed out about, because they canceled that.
Colton
So
likes to go for the pony rides.
I don't blame you.
I hate the fucking Del Mar Fair. I hate all fairs, though. It's not just that. I was telling Anita this. She's like, you want to go to Del Mar Fair? I was like, dude, I fucking hate that shit. I hate how you're being harassed because you're trying to win your girlfriend a fucking prize by some fucking dipshit who has 2 teeth, who can barely speak English. And it's like, he's trying to harass you to get you over to play the game. And then you get over there and you realize it's rigged. And you spent $40 already. And you're like, I don't even want this piece of shit fucking bear that looks used, and then it's like, oh, do you want a giant turkey leg? And it's like, yeah, I want a fucking AIDS infested steroid leg that the turkey's fucked up. And then it's like, oh, we could deep fry anything. It's like, I could fucking do that at home. I got a pot with oil in it. I could fry anything I want. I do the same fucking thing in my kitchen.
And the thing that's most annoying,
Spoiler, Colton, that turkey leg is that pony.
bro, but
So
the thing
after
that's
you're done
most,
riding it, you can pick which one, like Red Lobster, fucking lobster tank. That's part of the charm of the fair.
That is.
the thing that's most annoying about all that shit that Colton just said is that I'm one of those guys that agree with you, Colton, but 97% of the people walking around there love it. They don't see that these games are rigged. They're like, oh, give me another 5. I'm gonna try again. And they love they're eating these fucking legs, and they don't care that these fucking rides came off of a truck, and they're still stuck. It's got the wheels on it still, and all it does is bend back down, and they can drive that shit away right now.
You're preaching to the choir. Honest, I've worked at the fair, so I know.
Shit. He's a carny.
I've worked there. I was a carny. I was security for the carnies. So I know what they do. I see. They also have some of the finest homemade drugs you can find in all the land.
Bro,
But other than that,
what do they do? Yo,
I've gone to fairs and I'll just walk up to the dude when I'm there with a date, and I'll just be like, "Hey, man, how much is it? How much you want for it?" He goes, "What are you talking about? You want to play?" I'm like, "No, man, just how much for the fucking bear?" And I'll be, "Oh man, well, how much you want? I'll give you $20. $20, give me the fucking bear."
He's like $20, $30 if it's stuffed with salvia. Which one do you want?
Look, I just want the bear that's gonna give me the fucking blowjob after I leave this goddamn carnival, man.
Exactly.
Dude, that's the
I
thing,
can care
man.
less about what's in the motherfucker. I just care about what's going to be in my date after the fact.
I feel like most girls just want to take a picture behind that stupid fucking is that what it's called? The Ferris wheel.
Yeah. For
Behind the
Oh,
fucking
Ferris
Ferris
wheel?
wheel. And just, with you and they're just holding hand like this fucking shit, and pretend this is the fucking Ferris wheel.
Oh, well, were you? Have you been looking through my Facebook pictures? I think I need to delete some shit. There might be something in there like that.
But they get you though. Like it's just like the same thing with like street fairs and shit. Like back in New York and in the
Oh
city,
yeah, I can't do that
like,
anymore.
like in Queens, Astoria, we'd have a street fair. Long Island City, we'd have a street fair. And then you go into Manhattan, street fairs. Bro, it's the same vendors selling the same shit. But they get you. It's like when the US Open comes around, everybody all of a sudden is a fucking tennis fan and everybody is just repeating what they heard on ESPN the day before or anything they're reading online. But they pretend like they've been following this shit all year. It's the same thing, bro. They're looking at like, ooh, 1,000 thread Egyptian cotton sheets. Ooh. And like, you're like, what the fuck? They're just fucking sheets, goddammit. They're selling you on the street in fucking Queens, dickhead. Stop it. Stop reading the thread count. You want them or not? $10. Come on, dickhead. Ridiculous. But they fool you. You know, you buy into that shit. I was with my friends and then they're doing that. But this is 1,000 count. Well, how
It's
many
like when they try to get you to buy overpriced homemade concert shirts in the parking lot after the show.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not paying $50 for that, dude. You made that in your fucking garage. I'll give you $10. You want $10? I want a shirt. Do you want $10?
Dude, this is
If you
great.
don't want $10, then don't give me the shirt.
Dude, that shirt costs fucking $1.50, and they won't even make $8 off of it. That's why they're such bitches. And,
You're making a good amount of money back on 10.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying, bro. I was. It's crazy because in other countries they're so savage about like copyright and shit. Like they'll just straight up steal. They'll put Gucci right on something, use the colors and the same font, and they'll just sell it. And they're allowed to. So there's tons of markets in Asia, Southeast Asia, all over China, and fucking these people. So there's this one guy, he's got a YouTube channel. It's just a white dude from England, but he like has lived in China, and he goes to all these markets and they're like, oh, Gucci. He's like, oh, how much for this Gucci belt? And then they're like, oh, 200, and they're telling him it's like, and that's equivalent to like $250, which is outrageous for a knockoff. But he offers them like $7. And she's like, oh no, you crazy. You joking? But he videotapes the whole thing. And that's his whole YouTube channel. He just goes to markets and haggles with everybody. And he buys it when they say, okay. But bro, it's crazy how they'll go from $250 to $9. It's insane. And then they get like all pissed off. They shove it in the bag. They won't even talk to him. And then, but it's a fun channel to watch, bro. He travels all over the place. He's in Bangkok and shit, and he just goes to these markets. And
I could do the same thing, but going to TJ and when they try to sell you drugs that are not what they say they are.
Dude, that's like Canal Street in New York, though. You go and what is it Canal Street?
Yeah, no, it's Canal.
Yeah, and they have all the fucking fake bullshit. I went there one time, and it was the same deal. The Oakley sunglasses, the guy's like $100, and I'm like, I'll give you 5, and like you said, they act like they're offended. They're like, 5, no. And then like, fuck it, I'm going to the next store over and getting them for $5. And then they're like, fine, 6. I'll do it for $6. So you go from fucking $100, $95 less,
Bro, this guy was selling Bluetooth Bose speakers, right? Bose speakers. They're selling these things for like $350. So he ends up getting it for like $14 or something, right?
What?
When he walks down further and he was talking in his video, he pulls his speaker out of the box and he realizes it doesn't say Bose on it. The logo's not there. So he goes right back to the lady and he's like, you sold me the wrong one. I wanted the Bose one. She turned around, opened up a little cabinet where she had like 1,000 Bose logos and she stuck it right on his speaker.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay, thanks. And he fucking walked in.
That's fucking great.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
great. The fucking Chinese-made piece of shit Bluetooth speaker.
Man.
And she's sticking Bose shit on it and selling it for hundreds, bro.
She probably had kids making those things in the fucking basement, dude.
Dude, that's why it's insane. That's why when you go to the Apple store, when they're opening, when the brand new iPads are coming out here in the United States, and there's so many Chinese and Asian people there, they're trying to get the real one because the fake ones are selling for so much money. If you have a real one, bro, forget about it. You're cleaning up on those items.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We should go to
Wuhan. There's a black market for iPads.
Oh, bro, there's a black market for everything. Bro, they have Apple
I
stores.
knew about some things, but I didn't know.
They straight up rip off everything. They copy the logo. Watch this. China rip-offs.
Yeah, they really do though. But that's the thing is you haggle with them on the price because everything's fake. Everything is fake.
Yeah. I can
even the bats. The bats don't come with COVID. You have to ask for that to get the real one.
That's special. That's like supersizing.
So look, this is what they do. So check this shit out.
Sandwich.
They just Boreo. They'll use the colors. Look at Nike. They misspell it on purposely, but using the check mark and all the letters.
I love this thing. OFC.
Wait,
What the hell
dude.
is that? Is that real?
Yeah, OFC cheeseburger.
Someday. I like
Cheeseburger.
Sunday.
Click the Nike sandals. The NBA logos on the bottom of it.
Oh shit.
They just like combine everything American on there.
Does it have it has a K?
So check this out. They have sportwear brand Uncle Martian versus Under Armour. Look at this shit. Uncle Martian. Dude, this is their iPhone. This is a fake iPhone. And it runs on Android, but it's a fake iPhone. It says iPhone. They use the Apple logo. This is the entire fake Apple store. It says Apple Store, and they use the logo, and they even use the same design. This is a Landwind, not a Land Rover.
Are you sure that's just not like what they call them in the Grand Theft games?
Oh,
No,
dude, wait, go up. The
Sunbucks?
the fake Disneyland, the fake Disney World. It's like creepy how fucking weird the characters look and shit. They just made like a whole fake Disney World. I've seen that
look
before.
this is one of them. She's supposed to look like what? Like a
Snow
mashup?
White.
Yeah. Walmart. Look at
Sunbox.
Here's the OFC. Obama's coffee.
That's
Yeah,
a little,
I don't think that's
little
right. I
suspect.
think that one's fake.
Pizza, huh?
that I would believe.
Oreos.
Serrano? Is that what it's yes?
Corona's okay shampoo instead of Olay. Look at double mint. All you got to do is just change the way you spell it, and you're good. You're good to go, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Love it.
Here's those sandals.
I want those.
John's.
Ooh,
What is that?
John's
that looks like it would be. That looks like death. Either that or they just. Oh.
You can buy a
Polly
station. But dude, what this Polystation is it's a video game console that looks just like a PlayStation. It's a knockoff PlayStation controller. They use these graphics, and what it is just an emulator. And when you plug it in to your fucking computer, you can play the games via emulator, the PlayStation games. So it is kind of what they're saying it is a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing: are kids going around, and every kid at school has a Polystation? You know, or
so, yeah, dude, that's the thing. Everybody knows in those countries, dude. He's picking up Yeezys. Like, what about these Yeezys? And he's like, some of those styles are actual real. Like, they're trying to replicate a real style. Like if they were like the original Jordan 1s, they would look just like those. But they also make like Jordan 1s, WONS, and they just look like something completely fucking different. You know what I mean? That they made up. So if you're gonna buy Yeezys, you want to buy the Yeezys that everybody in America, they don't have those stores. So if you go to China, you buy a fake pair of Yeezys that everybody knows as Yeezys, and you wear them, you can kind of pull it off. People are gonna think that those are real Yeezys. In China, everybody's wearing Yeezys, and none of them are real Yeezys. And if you're the dickhead walking around in real Yeezys in China, then you're a fucking idiot, bro. No one's gonna know that you've got the real ones. Everybody's got fake Yeezys. So that's just the way that it works. It's crazy.
I got Peasies.
oh my god, dude, that's
What'd you
funny.
pay for your shoes? $5. $5, baby. What'd you pay for yours? It's cool.
So it's one thing. Like, here's the thing. It's like, if you're gonna get those Kanais, not the Nikes, but the Kanais. It's like, aren't you gonna get called out for being an asshole who's wearing fake Nikes rather than like the tricking everybody's peripheral who's gonna just assume those were Nike flip flops? Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, everybody who's dyslexic can see, hey, those are Nikes, huh?
Yeah, no one gives a fuck.
Dude, how many
No one
people
gives a shit.
bought those at the market, put them in the bag, got back to their hotel, and was like, Kanais? I didn't even notice. I thought it said Nike.
They're probably put together even better than Nikes. Who knows?
It could be.
I don't want to disparage the good people of Kenai. They might be a beautiful company. You never know.
The good people. You mean the good
Good people.
the kids, the little children, bro. These are sweatshops. You got 4, 5, 5, 6-year-olds working at the Knai factories.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
But at the factory, they're like, good quality. No, good quality. Same quality.
It probably is. That's the sad part.
I know, that's what they're saying, bro. It's not Gucci, but it's the same quality. I know, because my nephew makes it. My nephew works at the factory.
He's
It's the
right
same
there.
quality. It's the same. He stole the factory.
Tell him thank you for that close stitching. That's such fine work. Only small children can pull that off, dude. Not everybody can do that.
Well, we used to do a segment on here, which we would go on chat roulette, and we talked to folks. But right now, we're still under this little issue where they switched the game up, and the filtered says no dicks allowed, sexual behavior will be banned, and then the unfiltered, they blatantly say not safe for work, adult area, dicks allowed. So chat roulette is openly promoting dicks, and we at the worst show ever don't want to be hacked or banned, because streaming live on Facebook, we know Mr. Colton has already
obey the rules.
Yeah, you gotta obey the rules, and
they're there for a reason. I used to break rules, and one time it ended with me upside down in a car. So you have to be careful.
The rules, motherfuckers.
There are some rules. So, Tommy, you mentioned you had a podcast. You want to plug your podcast?
Sure, buddy. Dropping shit over here. There we go. Coffee with a Roach, the Lazy Sodcast on Spotify. Always putting up more random episodes. I got my buddy Chip Nicholson on there. Was the last interview I did. Before that was Russell Brock. Gotten a couple bands on there from San Diego. You should check them out if you've never heard them before. The Yucks. They're a really good punk band, man. They're fucking amazing. Who else has been on there? A bunch of comedians, dude. A bunch of local comics. I was doing a lot of shows after the live shows I do for 40 Ounce to Funny, which is also the shows that I put on are 40 Ounce to Funny Comedy Shows Presents. Those are usually at Main Tap, which is coming back pretty soon, and Bay City Brewing. We'll see when Bay City opens up, but I'm more hopeful for the Main Tap before that.
Yeah, those are fun, man. I remember I think I've done both of those before. So those are good places, and they're a good time. Are you on Instagram, or do you have any of your stuff on Instagram we could plug too?
Instagram is just search 40 Ounce to Funny.
All right, I think I got it here. So this is it. If you guys want to follow,
it's usually a flyer that looks like a ransom note. There you go.
Click follow, and he's got all this stuff up on here.
Yeah, and the live shows that we've been doing, or the virtual live shows, those have been people have been digging those. So those have been going good. Been putting those from same way you do the show here with the Zoom Facebook. So check that out on the 29th. The 29th. Got the next show coming up on the Facebooks. The end of the week on Friday. Gonna have Keith Carey is gonna close it out for us. He's kind enough to do the comedy shows. His comedy, man, he's one of the guys that I've actually followed for a while and watched a lot of his comedy and how his writings evolved and stuff. He's fucking hilarious. Him, Tom Goss, and Connor, dude, all of them. All three of those dudes are just one of the last times I was like borderline blackout drunk. I got to watch Keith down at the Salty Frog in Imperial Beach. And oh my God. I damn near pissed myself a couple times, honestly. He's just that funny, dude. He's like one of my favorite comics, man. So good. Like you've had a chance to work with him, haven't you? He comes down to Comedy Store regularly, doesn't he? Still?
I think I have before. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like since this shit, my time frame with references are all fucked up. But
Were you able to tell when the first month passed?
That I was, but as soon as April came around and now it's May, I'm getting April and May confused, and it's really fucking me up. I actually had to buy a calendar here to keep track of the days. Yeah, and I don't smoke weed, so.
After that third week, I was laying in my bed. I was looking at the calendar. Oh, holy shit! It's the end of the month now.
That's why.
Actually, there's a few things that keeps track of the week for me. One of them is the show, and the other one's Jeffrey Burner. Every time he posts a Throwback Thursday of his picture, it's just the same picture. I'm like, oh shit, it's Thursday already.
It's Thursday.
So
Thank you, Burner.
Also, real quick,
shout out to Jeffrey Burner.
Did you guys see that Joe Rogan signed a $100 million deal to go exclusively on Spotify? Take the Joe Rogan experience exclusively on Spotify.
Exclusively on Spotify now.
Yeah, it's good. Well,
it's not going to have anything on YouTube anymore.
Really?
You have to have Spotify Premium.
It's going to be.
You only get snippets.
Hold on. Let's just make sure we give accurate information here. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the video and shit like that.
It's going to be exclusively on Spotify starting in September. So you can still watch it on iTunes. You can still watch it on YouTube. I have no idea what goes on with the YouTube or with Spotify. I think that if you're a free Spotify listener, you can still listen. It's going to be completely free for all. He's not going to be charging people for the podcast. All it's moving is the platform. So you can still watch and listen to the podcast without being a paid member.
Well, because isn't there certain episodes of some shows you have to pay for? Because I know on Stitcher, which is the other one that I use to listen to a lot of podcasts, you have to pay for a certain thing to hear some of the episodes without limit. Like there's certain episodes that'll come up and you can't click on them, and those are the ones you can't listen to unless you pay for it.
I don't know. I wonder why he did that, though. I mean, obviously, money is a huge factor, but I wonder why he decided to switch over.
I don't know, dude. $100 million plus seems like a pretty good reason.
Yeah, but I feel like he's doing pretty well with the podcast already and UFC and everything.
He can always do better.
I know. It's just, dude. He used to talk about in the early episodes, like he would never do that. He likes, being able to have people listen for free and shit. So
everything changes.
You know what's funny, dude?
Especially with $100 million.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
The thing for me is also that, like, dude, honestly, so do you guys have music subscriptions? Any services?
Just the Spotify.
Do you pay $10 a month for Spotify?
I don't think it's $10. It's like 7 or 8 or something.
Okay. What about you, Colton?
I get YouTube Premium every month for a new subscription when I create a 30-day trial with a new email address.
So Colton has 12 email addresses just from the last year, so he can continue his YouTube Premium experience. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I've had Apple Music for a few years, and I mean, I like it, but I don't know, man. There's a lot of so Tony Hawk is being remastered. Did you used to play that game back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to play the fuck out of that.
Oh man, me too, bro. Like that was my senior year of high school, time in my life. 1999. I was playing Tony Hawk 2. Fucking
Chad Muska.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. I was watching. So the remaster in that game is coming out for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and they're also going to be making it, I think, for the next gen consoles, remastering it for the next gen consoles, PS5 and shit too.
Oh, wow.
I think. But So I was watching some gameplay of the PS4 version the other day, which looks much better than PlayStation 2 or whatever it was when it first came out.
PlayStation, dude.
Or PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the first one?
Yep.
Dude, it was. I remember like listening to that songs. Like there's a Lagwagon song on there that I used to like want to skate to.
Goldfinger and stuff.
Yeah, Goldfinger. Dude, who else did they have? They had so many. They had a good soundtrack. And I was like, oh my god, I forgot about the soundtrack. That Bad Religion was on that soundtrack. So I went online to look for it, and I found a link to Spotify, and then there it is, the Tony Hawk 2 soundtrack. And I was like, oh shit! And I'm listening to the soundtrack. I went into Apple Music to see if they have it. They don't fucking even know who Tony Hawk is. You know what I'm saying? They're like, what the? They don't. It's like they don't give a shit about that kind of stuff. Like they don't care as much about like mixtapes and things. Like some hard to find music. Like I'll have to go to.
That reminds me a lot of that particular time, because that was still around the time of burning CDs and stuff like that, making mixed CDs so you can, for me, drive to Magic Mountain on mushrooms.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Your mixed CD of random stuff you thought would be cool while you're tripping.
Downloading it off the internet, just free and just whatever you wanted.
The different free streaming channels at the time.
Yeah.
Oh man, I used to be able to get such cool stuff off of there.
Man, it was such a unique time because I feel like everything right now, your phone knows where you are. There's fucking cameras all over the place, dude. Back in the day when we were growing up, man, no one knew where you were. You could just disappear, you know. Like I like that shit. You know, you weren't as connected.
You could essentially still do that. It just takes a little more effort. You could stop and just totally drop off. You know, if you need to, the burner phone thing, you can always do that.
But then you
get off social media.
So, but here's the thing: like, even like some of the newer cars, like they know what's up, dude. There's been stories of people being killed through like their Mercedes, like especially like
the
Canada
automatic Tesla, was it?
Was that?
Was it the automatic driving Tesla?
No, it was Mercedes.
Drove into a wall or some shit like that.
Dude, the crazy thing is this: like, my wife's got a new Kia. It's a really nice car. I turn all the auto shit off of it because, dude, it can stay in its own lane. When I'm driving, it can see the lines or whatever in the road, and it does its best to stay in them. It's not great. It doesn't say that it's a self-driving car, but man, it moves the steering wheel and is doing that. It is doing that shit by itself. But bro, like Mercedes, like a lot of these other cars that can do that kind of stuff too. There's stories about this.
Like in Arizona, I remember maybe like a year or so ago, something like that. One of those automatic driving cars run over an old lady or some shit like that. I remember that. Like out in Arizona, that's what it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that shit? Like they're gonna kill us all. Like Skynet, Terminator, goddammit.
Like you can't steal a Tesla. You know what I'm saying? You can't steal a Tesla. And they always know where it is. Like it's right there. Let's just go get it. It doesn't matter. It's not like it's GPS built into that fucking thing. Like
one of them picked me up for a lift. It took me a second to figure out how to open the door. Even I don't know how you would go about even stealing it.
Right? It's insane. So, but bro, then you go into somebody's. If so you think about it though, because like if you think that you're as there used to be a time where your computer didn't have a camera on it. Because, bro, even Apple just came out with the news that Apple has a fucking shitload of people that are hired to listen to Siri messages, whether it's recording or not.
So glad I got rid of an Apple iPhone.
Dude, they hear people talking about drugs, making drug deals. They hear people talking about everything that it asks Siri, everything that it wasn't asking Siri. And, dude, so it's not all safe. Your cameras are watching you. Your phones are listening to you. So, dude, the thing that's the thing that,
bro.
What's that? Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's so fucked up. I know that the city of Carlsbad. If you're going to enter Carlsbad, you're going to be surveillance. Period. Every car their plate is being scanned, and there's cameras on the boundary. There's no way in Carlsbad without being monitored.
It's like that in parts of like Asia and stuff like that, isn't it? Or in Europe.
Oh yeah, big time in Asia.
And they seem to be okay. Well, they were doing okay for a while. Like their cops didn't even have guns.
But that's what's but
That was a
what's
good way
okay. But what's okay? Because what's okay to me is not being fucking on every goddamn camera. Here's the deal. Like, so this one guy was showing how their office is set up. When you walk into the lobby of their office, there's nobody that greets you. They don't need that person anymore. As soon as you walk in, it recognizes your face and it's like, welcome, Tommy. It shows up on their screen, your picture that you would normally take that sits on your ID badge. It would say good morning to you. The door would open because it knows that you work there and you're automatically clocked in. There
It
is
just
no,
sounds like an episode of Black Mirror over there.
but bro, that's how fucked up it is. Like, I want to be able to be late for work and then still get paid for a full day's work because you didn't know about it. And that's what's fucked up. Like, all that shit is disappearing. You know
The
what
American
Telling
way.
me I can't have somebody
Yeah.
else run my time card?
Dude, that's freedom. Your freedoms are being taken. That's all your freedoms are gone with that shit. But they make it sound like it's it's not. But bro, when they can track you everywhere you're going and know everything that you're doing, where's that free? Because bro, right now you're in your phone. You got your phone on you, but Colton's in front of his computer. So when Colton's computer is always in his room and it always has that viewpoint. So if he's ever jerking off or doing anal right in his bedroom, that camera can view it and see it and hear it. And then he takes it with him on his camera, with his phone. If he gets into a Tesla, that shit is being traced and recorded everywhere he goes. He gets out, he's walking with his phone. It's on everybody else's surveillance, everybody else's camera. It's just ridiculous. It's insane that you can't really get rid of it. And then you go to somebody else's house and they've got an Alexa or a Google fucking home, and then that shit is listening to you and taking transcripts and shit too. And like, whether you say, oh, who gives a shit? I'm not doing anything. It's not the point. The point is they shouldn't be recording you in your own home. We're essentially bugging ourselves. They tricked us into having a audio and video surveillance of you all the time. And they tricked you into spending thousands of dollars for it.
Yep.
How else am I supposed to order food?
Exactly. That's how you got tricked, because this is how you do it now. They make
That's how I order everything.
It's flashy and fancy. Or you know,
They know what kind of weed I like. They can lure me anywhere now.
Sean was about to transition into the next anal segment.
Dude,
Wait, in Carlsbad, they
now I'm
track you every
excited.
second?
no, in Carlsbad you can't you can't get into Carlsbad without their whole perimeter is cameras.
On those big box cameras on top of the poles.
Yeah. So when you're driving the 5 through Carlsbad, there's going to be monitors every car that's going through, and it's being.
Wait, why?
Because that's the city of
Because
Carlsbad.
they want to keep an eye on you.
Oh, I'm not familiar with Carlsbad.
Bro, Carlsbad is totally different than the rest of San Diego, bro. And then probably because it's
very
Carlsbad, but
very snooty.
dude, yeah, they are, bro. I had to do just for an engagement session one time. They were like, "Oh, Carlsbad." They were like, "Oh, to do an engagement session here, you got to have a business license in Carlsbad." So I had to file for another business license just in the city of Carlsbad specifically to do an engagement session there, and spend fucking $35 for the business license, which the clients paid for because it was their engagement session that they wanted.
Coronado's not even that strict.
Session. But bro, that's Carlsbad.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know it was that
Crazy.
pricey in Carlsbad.
It's crazy. Carlsbad's crazy, bro. They're crazy like that.
Woof.
Yeah.
Wow. Fuck Carlsbad.
Fuck them and all their flower fields. And I don't know
Flower
very
fields are
much
nice
about
though. I
Carlsbad.
like the flower fields. Flower fields are cool, and the outlet mall there is really nice too. Legoland, shout out to Legoland.
Ooh, that's right.
So Carlsbad is the shit, bro.
Legoland.
I like Carlsbad. It's a shit.
Ooh, Legoland.
I've never been to Legoland, so I don't know.
Legoland's nice, and they got a nice downtown area too. Like it's not a big thing, but it's like a nice little downtown area, like cool stores.
Yeah, but it's like you're living on a fucking movie set, like at that point.
It is a little bit. It's fucked up.
Yeah, that's there's a lot of movies like that. They never end well.
Like the Truman Show.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, dude,
Yeah,
that's
true.
that's literally what our lives are turning into, and it's been that way for a while. People are just realizing it now.
I didn't think about that when the landlines disappeared and the payphones disappeared,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden I had to have a phone to be able to get a hold of anybody. It makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, I also like the convenience of no delivery fee Taco Bell getting here at the same time that my medication arrives.
Yeah.
That's very good. Very good stuff.
I see where you're coming from, and I understand. And when you find some sort of resolution, I'm on board.
But bro, you know what? That's the genius thing about it is like, bro, how can we get these people? How can we do this? Like, let them do it to themselves. Like, they're just going to be so much happier that they can order their weed and their Taco Bell, that they don't give a fuck that we're tracking them, that we can hear everything that we're saying. And you don't
Not really.
feel like, who cares? I don't see what they're doing. The pros outweigh, for me, technically, for you, the pros outweigh the cons. But I don't think that anybody's really aware of the cons. And here's the cool thing about living in the state of California. Well, we have a huge benefit of over any other state is that recently it was passed that California's like, yo, fuck you. You can't just say, hey, by scrolling through here, you're allowing cookies on this website.
Yeah.
You need to let us know what those fucking cookies are, and we need to have options here. You can't force this shit down our throats. So now, if you live in the state of California, it knows, because when you know how when you go on to Google, it knows where your location is.
You know what? That has been more prevalent when I go on the internet recently. Right. So yeah.
But I bet you're just going accept next, because I want to find out what this fucking
fuck
article
that.
says.
That fucks up my phone when you accept that shit.
Bro, listen, you never had an option to accept or decline. Cookies in every state, when that shit shows up on your phone, it says by continuing you accept cookies. And everybody's like, yeah, whatever. 91 people were exposed to the coronavirus, and they start scrolling. Once they do that, they've accepted the terms of the cookies. But in the state of California, we have the luxury of seeing what those cookies are. So we have the option of saying no to those cookies. So bro, anybody who's listening or watching, next time it says those cookies come up, there's an option next to it, and it's not the accept option. Click more, learn more, or more options or info. Click that next option. It goes to a new window, and then you can turn all the cookies off. Bro, read the fucking cookies. You'll be blown away. They're like, oh, we sell all your personal information to Verizon, this company, this company, this company, this company. We sell this to this company. We sell this to this company. But by you saying yes to cookies, they're getting information off of your phone, your email address, your date of birth, what you like, stuff from Facebook, bro. It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, that's why. Like I said, I don't even open that shit. This fucks up my phone.
But how did the internet get so gangster? Like, how is this going on behind everybody's backs and it's allowed? Like, how is a company allowed to say, hey, we're going to let these cookies go into your browser?
Because other corporations are benefiting from that above whatever you're clicking on. Somebody else has interest and stock in whatever you're seeing. So somehow that's getting back to somebody else that's way higher.
It's ads. They call it ads. And they say, oh, it's for advertisements. So we're going to sell it to this company for advertisements. And that's why when people are like, oh my God, bro, I was just talking about this, and then it came up in my Facebook. It was like it heard me. It did hear you. And your information was sold when you clicked on something a week ago or 2 days ago, or where you watched that stupid fucking video, or you know what I'm saying? It's like,
oh yeah,
it's crazy what you're saying yes to when you're just saying what you're saying when you're accepting cookies. So don't fucking accept the cookies. Turn them all off. You in California, you can turn them off. Turn them off. Turn them
There's
off.
There's a button that pops up that lets you turn off all of it.
Yeah. So whenever you go to a website, it pops up and it says this website uses cookies, and then it normally would say by continuing to use this website, you're accepting the terms and conditions for the cookies. And then most people are like, yeah, whatever, cookies, sure. And they just continue. But in California, that whole shit got passed. Now they have to let you know that the cookies are being passed? Just within like the last year.
Yeah.
It's relatively new. And they have to let you know if cookies are going to be used. And then you have the option as a private citizen to fucking say, no, fuck you. You're not selling my personal information just because I want to read an advertisement. Fuck you. And when you click on it, there's so many options to toggle, and then so many different companies that they work with to sell your information. And they're selling all of it.
Next time it pops up, I'm gonna look. I don't even, if it comes up, I don't even go beyond that.
I know, nobody does. And that's what's so fucked up. And California is like the only state that's calling it out and saying, let people look. And when you start looking, you're going to be like, whoa, wait a fucking minute. And that's why I have such a big problem with everything else. You know what I mean? With all the tracking and this going on. Bro, like Ring, for example, the company Ring. You know, cool. This is supposed to be a video surveillance. I put this on my doorbell, and when the doorbell rings, my phone gets a notification. I can see who's at my door, even if I'm fucking 1,000 miles away.
Yeah, you're not the only person seeing that. They have somebody else watching all that shit.
Bro, anybody can hack in and watch that. Anybody can see that you're not home during these hours of the day. Not only that, the police just signed a thing saying that the police department is working with Ring, and they can now access the videos to anybody's Ring camera. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Fuck that.
Better go
That's on
smash
your
that
private
camera.
property. That's on your private property. Your ring can be 150 feet up your driveway. That's a windy driveway that nobody can see, and you can be butt fucking your bitch out there and then shooting deer. And you should be able to do that on your property.
Well, honestly, I'd want a
without
video
people
of me
watching.
doing that if that existed.
But
That sounds like a pretty awesome video, to be
and
real.
that's what's fucked up.
Yeah, it's very true, man. I don't trust a lot of that stuff, which is why I don't have a lot of certain things. My phone is as far as I really go.
Yeah.
Like I don't even have a computer. I do everything on my phone. I use other people's computer if I really need to use it.
Dude, the smart TVs do the same thing. So
Nope.
but there's people who have smart TVs with an Alexa next to it, their phone in their pocket, a computer in the room, a kid's on an iPad, and then they get in their car with most of that technology on top of whatever car's technology is built into that said vehicle, whatever it is, whether it's a brand new Tesla or whatever, anything else. You know, it's just like there's no escaping it. It's just your.
Well, what is it? The OnStar and all that stuff?
Yeah, all that shit.
No.
It's like you got to buy an old school car. You got to buy an old flip phone, like a burner phone, and you just got to drive out to the middle of nowhere and feel like you have that.
Live on a boat with just a GameCube and a flip phone.
Yeah, there you go. And a pair of not Kanai flip flops.
Kanai flip flop. Hell yeah, dude. We are constructing my retirement right now. It used to be just take a handful of hallucinogenics, run off into the forest. But I like where this is going. This is a lot more positive, I think.
Yeah, sounds good.
It's a boat out in the harbor with a Dreamcast, maybe.
Dreamcast is the dope. Yeah, I'd rather have the Dreamcast.
A nice make your own soda machine with the carbonator, the carbonation. It's all looking lovely, looking very lovely. I like how we're putting together how I'm gonna fall off the grid.
You know what's funny? I brewed a coffee so I can drink it for this episode. And I just remembered it now. It's still in my coffee machine. It's been sitting there for.
Oh man, I should have done. That sounds good.
I know we got carried away here.
I love coffee.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna drink a little bit of it.
That shit all day.
I don't want to be up all night.
Well,
that shit up.
Yeah.
Tommy, listen, thanks so much for joining us, bro. It's been a pleasure. Absolutely.
Likewise. It's lovely to talk to you. Come to Paradise Lounge and get yourself some food to go, or maybe a nice drink to go while you can still do that kind of shit. I don't know if they're doing growlers. They might be. You can call and check, because some bars are taking growler orders. But definitely food. And even if I'm not working, please go down to whatever local place you're near and make sure and buy as much stuff as you can possibly carry out of that place.
And if you order something at your place, how long does it take for you to cook it? Usually like 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe? Is that how long it is for takeout orders?
It depends on how much shit, but yeah.
All right, so that gives you enough time to go.
15, 20 minutes. Tops, 15, 20 minutes.
So excuse you 15, 20 minutes to hit up Deja Vu, which is right next door, guys. Support your local strip clubs.
Oh my God, when that place opens, dude, business is gonna be amazing.
No, it's not. You're gonna.
Yeah, dude, you don't. Do you know the kind of guys that frequent strip clubs, man?
Bro, I'll tell you what.
Like on a daily basis, waiting for them to open.
What do you think Hong Kong's doing right now?
Which one?
You think Hong Kong's open?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hong Kong didn't shut down for anything, dude. Not
No,
one
dude.
fucking hour did that
They're
shut
probably
more
down.
taking
disease
people
in-
out back and shooting them if they caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more disease in that place than there is than coronavirus. You know, there's
That's
more
why
shit
they
in there
won't
than
get sick,
coronavirus.
Sean.
What's that?
That's why they won't get sick.
Yeah, exactly. They got such
They
a high
have an
immunity,
immunity like a Wolverine healing factor over there.
battling the chlamydia and the staph infections, the fucking.
When you have all of them at the same time, it makes you impervious to anything new.
All right, let's skedaddle before we go on too long.
Right. That's it.
Tommy, we'll have to have you back, man. We had a blast on air with you. It was fun.
Oh, thanks, man. Likewise, I got to get you guys on a podcast.
Fuck yeah.
Cool, dude. Sounds good.
You all seem somewhat cleanly. We could probably sit in the same room.
I don't know. Colton doesn't get.
I don't know about
I gotta
Sean.
check
Sean
my
looks a
penis.
little questionable.
Sean is questionable. Plus, he's buying a home gym from a stranger, so you got to check him
Ooh.
after that.
Nice
Yeah,
gym.
you
I'm
might
gonna
wanna
sanitize it. I'm gonna
Set it
clean
on
first.
fire before you use it.
No, I got cleaners.
He hired cleaners.
Ah, good idea. Make sure and set them on fire before you use them.
I need somebody to move this thing for me tomorrow. You know anybody with a pickup truck?
No, not a fan.
How about on hand?
Not either. No
Oh,
hands.
damn it. All right. Well,
However, make sure and check out Coffee with the Roach, the Lazy Sodcast, and 40 Ounce to Funny Comedy Shows, another virtual comedy show coming up at the end of the week with headliner Keith Carey and a cast of incredibly funny folks, including Neil Singh and Clint Bashir.
yes, sir. We heard it.
Fuck yeah.
All right, we're gonna play ourselves out. Ready? On the count of 5, we'll do our material. Colton will end the show. Thank you for joining us, Tommy. It's been a pleasure. I'm Sean. That's Colton, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday for episode 27 of The Worst Show Ever.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the other day I woke up and I'm like, this is
Videos of
fucking
it.
bizarre.
Because, I've seen more
But
convincing
sometimes it's not
UFOs
bizarre because my
in a
penis
trip after I've eaten an eighth of
looks a
mushroom.
little weird, but my penis can look that
However,
weird.
if